That's not the significant factor. Now, that decision to build a 110 kilovolt line instead of a 230 has cost us tens of thousands of dollars. And we'd have never made the wrong decision if Roy had been able to convince us of what he believed.
That observation by the chairman of a large utility underlines a crucial management problem. The usefulness of a manager to his company, his bosses, can be crippled by an inability to sell his ideas to his superiors. Yet, this ability is not innate. It can be acquired. It can be learned. And a survey of top executives suggests 7 major ingredients to success in selling your ideas to top management. Listen to this sales manager speaking to the president of his company.
At the same volume of sales. Now listen to this, Fred. At today's volume, the use of manufacturers' reps in the Philadelphia area instead of our 3 salesmen would increase the net profitability of that volume by 3%.
Interesting. How do we know we'd get the same volume, though?
There are a lot of other factors involved. Here, I can show you.
Rule number 1. Catch the interest of top management, usually best accomplished by showing a direct effect of your idea on profits, volume, costs, or competitive position. And if you can orient your idea to a specific interest of the superior you're trying to convince, you'll improve your batting average. But even an idea that has inherent interest for top management won't get very far if the timing is wrong. Listen to this production manager try to catch the interest of his boss.
The new presses I saw in St. Louis are demonstrably 20% more efficient than what we're using now, Fred.
Yeah, I guess we ought to keep that in mind for next year.
Next year? Well, I'd like to install one right away and prove it out.
With the union contract coming up for renegotiation next month?
This production manager not only isn't going to get his new press, but he has planted a serious seed of doubt about his managerial ability in his boss's mind. Good timing is demonstrated by the controller who watched slipping cost controls during a period of high sales and profits and developed a well-conceived plan for the moment when the inevitable economic dip forced a hard look at costs. Perhaps even more than poor timing, overweening pride of authorship has prevented many a good idea from gaining acceptance. The right way to conceal a perfectly natural pride of authorship was demonstrated by the head of the inventory department in a metals fabrication firm. Before presenting his plan for cutting the firm's investment in finished goods, he checked it out with the assembly general foreman, the warehouse and shipping superintendents, the customer service manager, and the plant superintendent. In turn, each brought up problems and suggestions. Result, when the idea was finally presented to the manufacturing vice president, it had the active support of every interested party. Now, for a horrible example of how not to put across an idea, listen to this direct mail advertising manager talking to his boss.
If we go offset on a web press and use a 120-pound coated high opaque, they'll double up the run with another job, assuming we can use the same ink, and we should be able to stay within the budget.
It may be a great idea, but unless the advertising manager's boss is a printing expert, he has little basis for making a decision. His most likely reaction is uncertainty. He probably won't want to demonstrate his ignorance, and so will stall the idea. The rule that was broken here? Avoid the jargon of the specialist. Top management assumes the competency of executives in their specialties, but has a right to expect that ideas will be presented to them in their language, that is, in terms of company objectives. And, speaking of company objectives, do you always keep them foremost in your mind while presenting an idea? Listen to this sales manager attempting to persuade his management to accept a windfall defense contract.
It's a $430,000 contract if we can deliver within the required period. At 8% net, that won't hurt this year's operating statement at all.
I think we ought to take it on, Bob.
Where are we going to get the personnel to staff the project?
Borrow temporarily from other divisions.
In my judgment, that would be a serious mistake. Risking our regular business and customer satisfaction for a one-shot deal. No. I think my decision is against it.
Present a balanced proposal is the rule that was violated here. The man who vigorously proposes an idea that's good for his division without regard for its effect on other divisions or departments is not thinking like a top manager. His boss must be concerned with the company overall, and ideas should be presented in that framework. Perhaps the final rule in getting the boss to listen is to know where to compromise. The secret is a simple one. Always differentiate in your own mind between the basic conceptual aspects of your idea and the details of its application or operation. Once you compromise in the concept, you've changed the original intent and character of the idea. A change in detail, however, can be used as a bargaining point to gain acceptance without destroying the original idea. Oh, one last point. Always avoid getting the unfavorable decision. Whenever it becomes clear that a favorable decision will not be forthcoming, strategic retreat or an alternative proposal is in order. This not only guards you from the stigma of having had your idea flatly rejected, but leaves the door open for a return engagement if circumstances should alter. As we suggested earlier, it should be clear now that these rules are not inborn, but are skills that can be learned by the ambitious manager. This has been a Nation's Business presentation.